February 21st, 2017, and this video is called Fukushima Spawns the Devil's Blood, Cesium 662.66. Now, Satan is the ultimate ruler of hell in this universe, and I don't know if you believe in coincidence or not, but I do believe in our acts that every one of us has got to have some type of moral compass. So I think, either know whether we do something, whether it should be for good or for evil. And I think Fukushima is one of those accidents that we had no control over via the largest earthquake in human history, but it was the act of the people in power that is what makes me think that some acts are pure evil. And I'm talking about TEPCO, Shinzo Abe, Barack Obama, and Hillary. And you could research yourself, Google each one of their names with Fukushima, and you could understand what they did. This video is not about that. This video is about the coincidence of the devil's play in Fukushima. Now, the burning mountain. The book of Revelation relies heavily on metaphor when describing each judgment. Nevertheless, some of the verses have an ominous undertone of the Fukushima disaster. For example, in Revelations chapter 8, verses 8 through 9, it reads, "And the second angel sounded, and as it were a great mountain burning with fire was cast into the sea. And the third part of the sea became blood, and the third part of the creatures that were in the sea died, those which have lives, and the third part of the ships were destroyed." At first glance, the great mountain burning with fire seems to describe a volcano. Nevertheless, it's difficult to understand how a volcano would literally fall into the ocean, maybe a comet. An equally plausible interpretation is the Fukushima power plant is the great mountain burning with fire, which was cast into the sea by the tsunami in 2011. The Fukushima power plant has been leaking deadly radiation into the sea for years, which has caused an onslaught of dead marine animals. Some reports suggest that the Fukushima disaster has contaminated up to 1/3 of the world's oceans, just as the Bible predicted. The water is bitter now, with the sense that it is poisonous. Growing concerns of water contamination have caused several countries to impose a ban or restriction on seafood imported from the Fukushima prefecture. In addition, radiation from the power plant has soured nearby riverbeds and water ducts. The definition of act. It's to take action or to do something. It's to behave in a specific way. It's a thing done, a deed, a criminal act. Now, what I'm going to show you is, I think, a coincidence. Or maybe it's not a coincidence. Maybe this was all planned. Now, the definition is a remarkable concurrence of events or circumstances without apparent causal connection. Now, what I'm about to show you is, I don't know if this was planned, or sometimes things just happen and they just seem to have no reason behind it, and I don't know which way I could describe it. A lot of times I think of stuff in analogies, and the definition of the analogy, it's a comparison, typically for the purpose of explanation. Now close your eyes and think of yourself of walking in the woods. There's a forest, and you're walking, and all of a sudden you hear a bird chirping that's behind you, and you turn around to listen to that beautiful sound of the bird chirping and singing. And at that very second, a huge branch comes down and falls right at your feet. Now, if you wouldn't have heard that bird at that very second and turned around, you probably would have been clobbered on the head with that log. And sometimes I feel that these things that I come across is an analogy to that I have no idea where they come from, but there might be reasons behind why I'm coming across these ideas, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Sometimes it's not that voice in your head, but for some reason you get ideas, and where these ideas come from, I have no clue. But my advice would be just to seek those ideas, and I guess those ideas are kind of like that bird singing, and you never know what it will save you from. The definition of spawn as a noun, it's the product or offspring of a person or place. The spawn of chaos, demons, or the devil. Now this is from the International Atomic Energy Agency. It's a guideline for using fallout radionuclides for strategies of erosion and soil conservation. But if I type in 662.66, I come to this little paragraph over here. Cesium. It's the 55th atomic element of the periodic table. It is the most electropositive and the most alkaline element among the alkali metals. Its atomic mass is variable from 125 to 145. Only the stable isotope of cesium, 133, is natural. The most well-known radioactive isotopes of cesium are 134 and 137. There are no natural sources of cesium-137. Indeed, it is an artificial or man-made radionuclide generated as a product of nuclear fission. Cesium-137 is the component of the iodine-137 decay chain, as outlined in the equation. It emits a strong gamma ray. This is the number of the Kelvin voltage, 662.66. Now this is why I say cesium is the devil's blood, because that's about as close as 666 as you can get. It's kind of like the number of the beast. 666, cesium, 137. Now the reason why I bring up Satan, because I believe he has his own signature, and it's not 662.66. It's actually a symbol. And now this is not about religion, is what I'm trying to say. You could believe whatever the heck you want, but it also does come down to energies of evil and good. And if you've ever felt good, it's definitely a great feeling, which has got a vibration that is way different than a lower vibration. All I'm saying is I didn't make up these names of Satan, and I'm just trying to show you that in history, Satan was meaning as an enemy. He's an adversary, sometimes referred to as the devil. Now, he is one who brings evil and temptation. Now, he's known as a deceiver who leads humanity astray. Some religious groups believe that he was an angel. But what happened was he is definitely into seducing humanity into the ways of falsehood and sin, and has power in this fallen world. Now, I believe that the devil is the ruler of the earth because the earth is just hell. And I think the true heaven is going to probably be as far away from this place as we can get. But that's just an opinion, and you could have your own. Now, I'm going to Google Satan's seal. And go into images, and look what comes up. It's been used in history for a long time, and it looks like it's a pentagram that is upside down. This is the seal of Satan, and I believe that I found it at Fukushima. And it could be a massive coincidence, or it may not be a massive coincidence. I don't know, but all I'm saying is I'm going to show you what I found on the property at Fukushima, and I guess you be the judge whether it's a coincidence or not. And I do apologize if I did say that I believe that this is hell. But what started off as just the epitome of beauty and a system that was self-reliant before humans came into the picture, and I believe that we totally screwed it up. But let's zoom in to Fukushima, and I'll show you the seal of Satan. Now we got to move it around here. Now keep an eye on this area right in here. You can't see it now. But because they have this switch date, you can go back to December 24th, 2003. And I was taking a look at this, and it kind of smacked me in the face. It just kind of looked strange to me. But maybe you see where I'm talking about. Can you see this road in here? And then it connects to this road in here. And then you got the road that comes across over here. Then you got this road that comes across over here. Can you see the upside down pentagram? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. Here is the seal of Satan, the seal of the devil. Now, if you go and look throughout the whole country, there's a lot of squares and boxes and angles, but you're not going to find it. See, there's something over here. But isn't it strange that it's right at the Fukushima site? Now, let's go through the years here. I thought this was interesting. This is going to take us to the next date, which that's 2004. See it over here? Now, I don't know. I doubt this is put there on purpose, but you never know. Sometimes these freaks probably plan this stuff, but I definitely see the seal of Satan at Fukushima. Now let's go to 2009. Now this is interesting. 3/11/2011. This is the day of the earthquake. Now what I find strange is this is the very next day. Isn't it pretty convenient that there's like clouds everywhere? But if you go down the street, all of a sudden it ends right here. See that? And then if you go the 13th, look at how it's just overexposed like crazy until you get to over here. And then the 15th, you got the clouds. You still got this overexposure. Then you got the 16th, and it's clear. You got the 17th, the 18th. That's May. See, they're starting to build over in here now. Now the seal of Satan is being filled up with cesium, tanks of cesium, which I believe 662.66 is the mark of the devil. And now you can't, here's the pentagram still, but you could hardly see it now because it's being filled with cesium. And of course, their very last one, it looks like it was taken at night. See it? It's still in here. The seal of Satan is kind of hidden. But isn't it strange that this symbol is right on the Fukushima site? Now that might be a coincidence. It might not be. I don't think it is, because this place right here is about as evil as you can get. It's equal to cancer. It's equal to death. It's equal to destruction. And I guess if you want to tell me what the devil and Satan stands for, that's basically what he stands for, is death and destruction. So I don't know. I just think it's kind of a little weird that I came across this, but like I said, that little bird is chirping in my head, and I happened to stumble across this just in time before it hit me over the head with a log. Now, what do you think? It's about as evil as you can get, and he's laughing at us because he wants to destroy us. And that's all I got. So let me know if you think this is a coincidence or not, or the devil is actually has a hand in this, and it's part of the revelations, part of prophecy, that I guess we have to be destroyed, unfortunately. So try to stay healthy, stay away from the fish. And it all comes down to, there are people that know the truth and they're not sharing it. Now, if that's not pure evil, I don't know what is.